Right, hello everyone. I'm back again, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Just a quick video based around the amount of posts I see on Facebook groups and stuff about the Uniden 125 and people that have bought it and struggling to get it to work because they bought it pre-programmed. So few key notes that I'm going to start with here and then go over as and when. First things first, the antenna that's in the box is not very good. It really isn't very good. If you get an aircraft, because I mainly do aircraft scanning, I don't have a ham license or nothing. I do listen, but obviously don't transmit because I don't have a license. But unless that aircraft is pretty close, or you're at the fence of an airfield or anywhere like that, you're not going to get too much. So I recommend the first thing you do is look at changing your antenna. eBay, Amazon, quick Google search and you'll find dozens of suitable ones. I buy these, just a little cheap whip, and so I can put it in there. It's in there, look. I've been buying them for a while now, and I find them as good as the big names. I think these might be on Amazon or on eBay. I'm not sure, but hopefully you can read that and have a look. It's obviously done for airband because that's what I do. Obviously not connected at the moment. My radio is connected to my antenna on the roof, so I am cheating a little bit, to be honest, but this is just to show you what you can achieve with these radios. Now, I'm not sure where to start, but let's start with you've taken it out of the box and turned it on. There's going to be probably two scenarios with maybe some scenarios in between which will make sense. If you look at my radio, let's zoom in, let's keep going. There we go. If your radio says that when you turn it on, the reason for that is there really isn't nothing to scan. Your radio is split into 10 groups of 50, 500 channels, frequencies. At the moment, there is nothing scanning. Now, to turn a bank on, so it's got 50 to scan, is you press a number, 1. And there you go. My radio is going to go mad now. I've turned the volume off though, because all my local frequencies are in bank 1. The radio has nothing in it beyond 5. 2, 3, 4 like Bryce Norton, Kemble, Fairford and things like that. Quite quiet this time of night, so we'll just stick with number 1 on. Okay. Scenario number 2 when you take out the box is usually this. And that is all the banks are on. Yeah. So this now, say you've put it back in a drawer and got your antenna. You've upgraded your antenna to your airband 1, whatever. And you've turned your radio on. You need to go to this. So all those numbers are on. Now, if for instance I press 5 again, it turns 5 off. Look, it's disappeared. Press it again. The number is an on-off sequence. This is where you want to start. So hopefully your radio is now looking like that. You are scanning possibly 500 frequencies. So let's say this scans at 70, 80 frequencies a second. That is going to be 6-7 seconds nearly for that to scan from 1 to 0. We're going to say that your frequencies, like mine, are actually number 1. If when an aircraft transmits, it often only does it for a few seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. So if it's now scanned channel, say 49 in channel 1, because they're in banks of 50, 10 banks, 500, gone all the way across here, got back to there, it's gone. It hasn't got nothing. Hope that makes sense. So if you're in bank 1 and it picks up an aircraft and they've done it, it's going to pick it up straight away, because it was on bank 1 when it was going through his cycle of go, because it just don't stop. When it says scan, it just goes round all your banks, all of them. It's scanning 500. Now I'll tell you now, no matter where you live, you're going to struggle to get 500 unless you're the Coast Guard and you've got every marine, because there are dozens and dozens and dozens of marine frequencies, you know, probably 100 and something, you know. So if you live down in Southampton, Portsmouth, and you got the marine set up, then that's going to take up 4 or 5 of your banks and you're going to hit something. But if you're into, like me, aircraft, yeah, which a lot of people are, and you're like me, I'm in Swindon, you know, aircraft do fly overhead, but mainly 10, 20 miles in either direction, you know, really, as a rule on their flight path. But I get them, and I get them with the whip, I get them with this, and with the one on the roof I get far beyond North Wales. I've got them over in Ireland, wherever, going off topic. So does it make sense that if you're scanning for 7 or 8 seconds, yet the transmission's only 2 or 3, the chances of you getting loads and loads of hits are quite minimal. Now I'm getting them, and I'm getting quite quick, partly because there's nothing in 6 onwards, so that's halved it to 250, and in 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 there's only like 20 frequencies in each. So I'm actually only scanning maybe 100 frequencies. So although it's scanning 5 banks, it's actually only taking it 1, maybe 2 seconds to do everything. Yours preloaded, they've probably put everything they can in there, and there's 500 in there, and your radio is going to struggle to find your local frequencies. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is what I suggest to you to do. Turn them all off, all of them. Sorry, leave number 1 on and leave it scanning with your new antenna, or if you've upgraded properly and put one on the roof, you know, probably 150 quid to do it pretty good. You know, I think that's what mine cost, but 70, 80 quid for the antenna, diamond 777, fantastic for airband, cable, a few fittings, a couple of hours out fixing it up, changes, massive game changer. If you can put one in a loft, even if you want, it still work up there. So you've got your new flexible friend, your whip. Ooh. You got this now on your radio. Lots of antennas. Just remember, you need a BNC connector, not an SMA. You need a BNC one. But look at the one that's in the box and look online, if you're buying online, that it's the same, yeah, because you don't want the wrong one. So you've now got your whip on. Start going through the banks one by one. So it's only scanning 50 at a time. It gives it the biggest chance to get a hit. That makes chance. So put number 1 on, leave it for 10 minutes, nothing, turn it off, put number 2 on, same again. There you go. We'll stop there, because hopefully that makes sense. You're only letting the radio scan 50 frequencies if it's full. It might only have 2 in there for all I know. You don't know neither, unless you've been given a list of what's in the radio. I guess you haven't. This is how you learn. So go through them all one by one. If you don't get anything when you've got to the end, that's a little bit suspicious, because you know, most people will get an aircraft. It's the line of sight. Okay, if an aircraft's flying out of Fairford and I've got my whip on, I won't listen to it. Yet when it's 35,000 feet in the air over Fairford, I can listen to it. There's no walls up there in the sky, or no trees, no mountains or nothing. it's a direct line to that aircraft in theory from my roof, and even my whip. I can get aircraft at 35,000 feet that are over Wantage, further beyond, over Reading sometimes. Reading's 35 miles at the motorway, and it's 30,000 feet in the air, and I can get that off of one of these. So, because your radio's not working, don't think it's you're not doing it right. It's you haven't been shown what frequencies are where. So from that, we now move to some options which will cost you money, I'm afraid, but it's worth every penny and they're not expensive. The first one is something like a flight radar, FreeDAR. There's loads of flight tracking apps, PC programs, and to start with, they're free. I've got them all upgraded because I use them all the time so much. They're free. Download it onto your computer, onto your phone, whatever, and look to see if there are aircraft, if that's what you're looking for, in your area. Now, if you drive, you know how far it is to your nearest town, little village or whatever. Just look where they are and assume about a 30 kilometre radius from your property, your postcode, and then imagine in the air, alright, you should get from the whip, you should get aircraft that are in that circle. Maybe you won't get them in certain directions because you've got large hills, just like me. I've got the Marlborough Downs behind me. I don't get a lot that direction, but in front of me I get loads of stuff. And that direction I get a lot of stuff. So, don't be downbeat if you don't get anything. So, once you've got your flight tracking or whatever software, look, and that might tell you that nothing's coming into the area where you live, and that's why you're not getting anything. So we'll now go to the next option, which will be another sort of paid one. You can use the Sentinel software to read your radio, but it's a little bit limited what you can do with it. So I've used various softwares, but the one that I'm using at the moment is from Rick. And it's the UK AFG programmer, Squawker. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I've only been using it a matter of weeks now, and it's far surpassed what I was using. Ease of use, the options that are there. So I would highly recommend doing that. Unfortunately, it is something you've got to pay for, but in my opinion, if it's your hobby, we are talking, there's loads of tip boxes of options you can buy. I think if you buy everything, it's still only going to be sort of like 30-40 quid a year, maybe something like that for everything. It's worth every penny for what it can do. So if you do that, what you can then do is plug your radio into your PC or laptop and tell your laptop to read the radio, and it send it to your laptop, and then it will come up with a list of everything that's on that radio. You can save that. You're not going to lose it. Now, what you can then do is use the UK AFG software to put your postcode into it, and the software will tell you what you should listen to and what you can hear and what you can get via handheld radio, a mast, different antennas. And if you're not getting anything that's on there, then there's a good chance your radio hasn't been programmed to what it should have been. But it's quite unlikely. The people that do program them are quite experienced. They know what they're doing. So it's just you don't really know where it is on the radio, what bank it's in. I know mine's in one because I program my radio, so I know where it is. This is the steps you should take. One is to swap your antenna, number one. Number two is go through your banks with your new antenna on, all right, and see if you get any hits on anything. If you don't, go to flight radar, something like that. You could do it anyway, to be honest, if it's free. See if you are getting aircraft over, and if you're not getting anything, then it's a bit strange. Then you go to the like the UK AFG from Rick's software and plug it in and see what frequencies are in there. Do a Google search, what are my local London control frequencies, and you'll get a list of probably 2, depending on where you live, right up to like me, I've got like 7 or 8. And just look at them and then look at the software that you've downloaded and see if you can find them. In the software there is a search. You put the number in, it'll search and it'll find it. And then you know what bank it's in. Put that bank on, search, right? And if you're not getting any hits, then there might be a problem with your radio. It's not you. It's you don't know where these frequencies are. Like I said, mine is 7. I could have every bank open on there. I could fill this up within 10 minutes. And I bet you I still only get those 7 hits because I'm not going to be picking up the Coast Guard in Portsmouth. I'm too far away. So just don't be downbeat that you're not getting anything from your radio. It's just learning how they work in the process of putting in it what you need and what you want. Hence the importance of learning how to use the software. Now I'll finish it there because I think we've covered the points. I'll do it once more. Antenna, flight radar, alongside going through the banks, turning them off, turning number 1 on, leaving it 10-15 minutes, 2 to check if there's aircraft going over, and just keep going through the banks and keep looking at the radar and seeing why you're not getting anything. Hopefully you will, because it's only scanning one bank at a time. And then from that, the software, learning the software. Now hopefully you enjoyed this shortish video. If you did, just comment and just say if you'd like me to do further videos with learning how to program this radio with the software. I'm more than happy to go through it. If you want to look at some of my other videos, because I've done quite a bit with the Kwangshangs over the year, and I started that with basics, right down to basics, short videos, 10-15 minutes long, learning how to start as if you've never had anything like this before, and kept it very simple and short, and you do it stage by stage. If you want me to do that with Rick Software UK AFG, just go and download it. It's fantastic. Alright, I will. Just comment on this video, and then I'll do some more videos, short, basic ones. There are ones already on there. If you put UK AFG into YouTube, they are already there. But I could perhaps do it a little bit slower, whatever you want. But hope this helps, and don't give up. You know, it's the frequencies should be in there. It's finding them and getting the right antenna and stuff. But yeah, hopefully that's going to help.